What's going on to all my Virgos out there? So let's get into this. Let's go. Keep coming through to get these personal readings. Like I said, I'm going to continue to reinvest back into this business here. Just so you know, really appreciate all the likes, all the subscriptions. Really appreciate all the love. Y'all been showing me so much love. I can't even do the two zodiac signs that gives me the most views because all y'all are just competing and getting those numbers up. And like I said before, I'm giving back to y'all the best that I can. So the cards that I come up with for Virgo is the Three of Pentacles, the Judgment, Queen of Swords, the Sun, the High Priestess, the Five of Swords, Two of Pentacles, Ace of Wands, Four of Pentacles, and the Ace of Pentacles. I know them pretty much. I know the way that a lot of them look just by doing this over and over and over again. But for you Virgos, what I'm seeing here is the Three of Pentacles, the Judgment, the Queen of Swords. Some of you Virgos have pretty much made a decision about the way that you're going to choose to carry yourselves as far as moving forward, getting to know other people. The Three of Pentacles is other people trying to convince you, potentially your family, your family and your friends, to not change. But the Judgment and the Queen of Swords shows you're not trying to really listen to what it is that they have to say when it comes to don't change, because dating is difficult and you have a lot of jokesters running around who really suffer from a serious case of delusion. A lot of them really are quite delusional. And I mean, you Virgos know this. You Virgos have already picked this up. You've been through a lot of that stuff already. You've probably been through it ever since you were in your teens. And you've just seen the delusion of other people. And the Judgment and the Queen of Swords represents, but you know that you had to do something different, but doing something, but back in those days, so you gotta understand, like I'm 31. So back like 10 years ago, there was a way that people did things. Back um, 15 years ago, when I was 16 years old, people did things a particular way. When you said things like, yo, I'm going to go ahead and choose to not date, I'm going to go ahead and choose to be a bachelor, I'm going to go ahead and choose to deal with people this way, or engage this way. This, right? A lot of times, those things that when you said that type of stuff, even if you wasn't really getting any kind of results that you want to, people look down on you for that. And it was kind of a hierarchy where it was like, if you just didn't if you wasn't being seen as cool, you just wasn't getting any prospects, and it was oppressive because you just had to sit there and deal with it. But the things that the Sun and the High Priestess now represent, but now we're in the year 2023, a lot more options has opened up because a lot more people realize that a lot of the glitz and the glamour that people really ultimately put up is really fake. Okay, I said it. It's really fake. And because of this, because of the fact that it's fake now, you Virgos know you really don't have the things that used to, like, you don't have to listen to, like, you don't have to be that in that hierarchy anymore. Like the hierarchy of the people who get some and they get a pick of whoever they want, and they get that, right? And then the people who do not, and just and and no matter how hard they try, no matter what they do, they just can't seem to get access, no matter the fact that they're good upstanding people, regardless of who you are, right? You just can't seem to get a date. Now things are very much so different. So the Sun and the High Priestess represents, so you Virgos have decided to not, you know, people don't have to live by those rules anymore, right? The code of conduct anymore. And you Virgos are not. You Virgos are like, look, the environment is changing, so am I. People don't want to have common sense. People want to run around and do this and play with people's time and do all this. So I just see you Virgos being like this. You've now become a person who not necessarily is a stalker, but a person who's essentially become like a like more mysterious in the regard of, because you're not letting people get so close to you the way that you used to. See, Virgos end up getting caught up in situations because a lot of times Virgos end up allowing themselves to get hurt based upon Virgos being so nice, right? And Virgos wanting people to understand them and see things, and the people that they date to be in a relationship. And a lot of times Virgos rush the relationship too far, right? You start hanging out with one person for one day, now you start thinking about marriage. I know all that stuff because I am a Virgo, you know, and it's just too fast. But then when you learn to slow down and when you learn, like, okay, you need to start looking at things from a different perspective, that all that glitter, all that glitters is not really gold out here, then it's not really good. People really wear masks out here in more than one way, if you catch my drift. Then you understand that you have to take things slowly. If you're finding value from this reading, then it means it's time for you to get a personal private reading from me. The link to my website, my Instagram page, the Teespring store, as well as the books that I have on Amazon. All four of those links are all in the pinned comment section below, and you can get any one of those. Uh, you can get any one of those values that I provide. So the Five of Swords now represents, you're still going to have, ultimately you're still going to have this problem where people are still going to test you, because this is kind of the point of being delusional people. Depending on how deep in their delusion they are, they don't stop being delusional. They literally live their entire lives like this. So even if we got all this stuff going on out here with inflation and this, that, and the third, and people, not really finding what they want, and they're not ever going to find what they want, you still have to understand, though, Virgo, in the state of all honesty, people are still going to try to waste your time. And it's up to you, Virgos, to not let them do that, because delusional people will always be delusional. Facts. Then you have the Two of Pentacles and the Ace of Wands. The Two of Pentacles represents, you just have to ultimately be very wise with whom it is that you decide to spend your time with and focus a lot of your attention on. Like, if these people are not contributing a whole lot, then it's time for you to essentially get away from them, right? You know, because that's essentially what I've been doing myself. When I just, every couple of months I just take a look at kind of the people that I have around me or I associate myself with, and if they're not really providing a whole lot to me, because I provide a lot as far as information, things that people can really use in their real life, how to get out of credit card debt fast, how to not go to jury duty, these things that ultimately free you up legally, of course. And then it's like people try it out and they come back and they tell me, wow, I can't believe this stuff actually worked. And it's like, right, because I'm helping you become a little bit legally, and lawfully, I'm helping you become more free. But then when I realize that these people don't really have any kind of value that they're giving to me, they expect me to answer all the questions. I'm like, eh. And that's the same situation for you Virgos that you got to watch out for, right? Ace of Wands, make sure that these people are offering you value instead of problems. If these people are just always bringing you conflict, nonsense, they always seem to have a problem with you, even if you haven't done anything. It's like, wow, if you Virgos have to say that to yourselves, like, wow, this person seems to seriously have this type of issue with me, then you know that it's time for you to bounce. You're spending too much of your time and your energy and your own resources, right? The ability to become more free on people that really are not listening to you because they're too caught up with their own delusions, whatever their delusions may be. But it's not up to you to find out what their delusions are and to fix it, right? Because sometimes Virgos can have that superhero complex. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a Virgo myself. And one of the most important things that I had to learn is to let people go and let people grow on at their own pace if they're even gonna grow at all. And that really helps. Because see, here's the thing, a lot of times people misconstrue Virgo for being like a servant, And they forget that there's a line where, remember, the king and the queen is a servant to their people. So they're being on some humble stuff, trying to give you empathy, trying to give you compassion to your situation, and they're trying to help you fix it by telling you what it is that they know to be true. But a lot of times people get caught up in their own delusion. But then when Virgos end up leaving, right? Four of Pentacles, right? Learning how to stay by yourself a little bit more. Ace of Pentacles, offer it to people that are better off learning it because they will appreciate the situation. That's where a lot of people get angry, because now it's like, well, why are you like this? Well, you weren't appreciative of the knowledge that I was trying to offer you before. You weren't appreciative of the help or the assistance that I was trying to offer you before. I showed you the door and you chose not to walk through it. So whose fault is that? Now it's like they got to sit down and they're like, yeah, and it's like your ego got you caught up. Let's glorify the high priestess, right? Let's clarify the high priestess. So the Two of Wands, Eight of Wands, yeah, the Sun, yeah, the Moon. So this is all. So the Wands and the Sun is fire. So this is more so about your own self-importance. So this is about, and the High Priestess represented you anyway. So the Two of Wands is about just seeing the landscape of how people are moving and realizing that you need to change something. The Eight of Wands and the Sun represents a real honest look at what's going on and realizing that a lot of people are really faking it, and you're trying to get to the real. Some of you, I ain't even gonna lie, some of you are trying to have fun and you're not interested in really getting to that, right? In that case, continue to play. The Sun represents, and in that case, some of you are trying to get to the real. For you people who are trying to get to be in a real relationship, then you have to understand that, again, put your time and your attention into a relationship. If, for instance, if a person does not have their own thing that they're doing, you should not have to teach everybody every single thing. If you have to teach people everything, if you have to teach people a lot, and they're past the age of, let's say, 25, and they don't know anything, you got to teach them everything. That's a dub. You need to leave that alone, because this person doesn't know a whole lot and they're really expecting you to show up and to help them out. And then you have the Moon, right? And then the Moon represents this being a situation for you where, um and just understand that this is how a lot of people are. A lot of people, they're not a lot of people are not real these days. So you honestly can't take so many people seriously. But that's pretty much it. Comment on the video, like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, share the video. Trying to make my YouTube channel grow to 10,000 subscribers by the end of June. I don't know if it's possible, but we'll see. Smash the subscribe button, smash the like button, hit the notification bell, set the notification bell to all so you can be notified whenever I drop videos like this, so you can keep learning and I can keep providing you value.